Now, this next story is another follow-up to something we've talked about before, which is Apple slowing down their older phones as their batteries age. Apple did this, they say, because as these batteries get older, they can't handle some of the spikes in power demand that the processors might require. So they decided to make the processors run slower in order to prevent those unexpected shutdowns that might happen if the battery was unable to meet demand. And that, of course, created an uproar. And I was really kind of not happy with the way Apple handled that situation. And they've done a couple things this week that I think are going to make this problem less of a problem. And they do have now 12 class action suits against them the last time I checked. So it's amazing how fast the lawyers get on this stuff. But here are the two main points out of what Apple is going to do. The first is that if you have an iPhone 6 or later, for the next year, battery replacements are only going to cost $29. That includes the labor to repair the battery in the phone. And if you have an iPhone that's about a year old or will be a year old, do this because you can't go wrong with this, and it will certainly extend the life of your phone beyond what that battery's lifespan is. Remember, last week we talked about charging cycles on your battery. The iPhone batteries are rated for about 500 full charge and discharge cycles before they begin to show their age, and sometimes those cycles may be less, and it might start showing its age earlier than that. And if you've got a phone that's a year old and it's $29 to fix it after a year or so, I would take it in. This deal is going to run through December of 2018, so all of this year you can get your phone battery replaced, and I plan on later this year getting my old iPhone 6S, which is my spare phone, as well as my old iPhone 7 Plus that my wife is using now. I'm going to bring both in and get those batteries upgraded probably in the next 6 months or so, because I use the crap out of my phones and I am always charging and discharging. So definitely take advantage of this deal. I think it is a good deal. The other thing here is that Apple will be providing some insight for users about the health of the battery so that you do have choice as a consumer as to whether or not you need a new phone, or if maybe a less expensive battery replacement might do something better for you. And I'm glad they added this in. This was one of the things that I brought up last week about what Apple should be doing. I'm not suggesting that they listen to me, but I think it just makes sense to have some common sense here about the life of your battery in your phone. So that was really a nice gesture there. So we'll see if that feature gets implemented soon, and when it does, we'll take a look at it. But I wanted to show you two other things related to this, because on the Mac, and I'll show you a Windows example in a minute too, you can go into your Mac and look at the health of your battery, and this is kind of instructive for this entire thing. So what you're looking at here is an app called Battery Health. This was running on my old MacBook Pro that is about 5 or 6 years old now, and Corey, our assistant producer here on the channel, uses that as his main computer here in the office. And this computer's been around the block a few times, but you can see here that after 5.8 years, I've only run about 308 cycles on that battery. These batteries on the MacBook Pros are rated for 1,000 cycles from Apple. Of course, if you go beyond your warranty, you still have to buy a new battery, but that's their suggested lifespan. But take a look, though. My battery is only about 83% of the power it was when it was new. And this might be due to the fact that it is an aging battery, and age does play into this in addition to the number of cycles that go on there. But this is the kind of information that I hope to see on my iPhones moving forward, because I think this can provide a lot of useful information to a consumer. And if your battery's at around 50% health or somewhere in that neighborhood, or you're getting close to that 500 cycle mark, knowing that a battery replacement will fix some problems your phone is facing, I think would be a nice thing for customers to see. Now, you can also run this test on Windows, and here's a link that I've got here for doing that on a Windows computer. So if your computer supports this Microsoft command here to take a look at its cycles and whatnot, you can do that there. One thing I didn't check on, though, was Android battery health. So if you are aware of any good battery health apps for Android, let us know down in the comments below, and we'll see what else is out there for the Android side of things. Maybe I'll show you an Android example in the weeks ahead.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters, the Black Eyed and Blues Music Hour podcast, Chris Allegretta, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/S.